There are some breaking developments surrounding the Shane Ellis theory. And honestly, these pieces are falling into place literally as we speak. If this is your first time hearing about the theory, don't worry. I'll catch you up quickly, and then I'm going to walk you through the brand new intel that just surfaced. Because when you combine RLUSD with ETF demand, it might be the missing component that pushes this entire theory into overdrive. So let's start from the beginning. What exactly is the Shane Ellis theory? At its core, it proposes that XRP could experience a sudden price reset, not a slow, multi-year climb, but a dramatic overnight surge, triggered by a liquidity shock. Basically, if massive institutional demand hits an extremely thin supply on public exchanges, the price wouldn't just drift upward, it would reprice instantly across the entire system. The foundation of the theory revolves around one thing: thin order books. Shane Ellis observed something very simple but very powerful. XRP exchange liquidity is shallow. If huge buy orders hit these thin books, they can wipe out all available sell orders and force the price to jump vertically. Right now, ETF providers are quietly accumulating through OTC desks and dark pools. These transactions don't move the public price at all, but they absolutely drain supply behind the scenes. Now imagine this scenario. What if instead of ETFs buying quietly in the dark, someone injected $50 million or even $100 million directly into those thin order books? The price would detonate upward instantly, and this isn't hypothetical. I'll get to real examples in a moment. Back to the theory. When global payment corridors and institutional products, like spot ETFs, begin absorbing huge amounts of XRP, the public float could drop to the point where the system has no choice but to revalue XRP upward to avoid liquidity failure. Combine that with persistent regulated demand from institutions and ETFs, and you get a supply shock powerful enough to erase sell walls instantly. Honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say my pulse was up going through this information, because the mechanics are real and the numbers are getting harder to ignore. Let's break down the fundamentals. Every exchange operates with an order book, a constantly updating list of all open buy and sell orders. If the order book is thin, it means there isn't much XRP available at each price level. When retail buys, the impact is small. But when institutions or ETFs place massive orders, they sweep through all the liquidity available at lower prices. A multi-million-dollar buy doesn't slowly push the price up. It clears every sell order in its path. And look at what's happened just since the spot XRP ETFs launched. We've already seen more than $600 million flow in across products. Now imagine that same $600 million hitting public exchanges instead of OTC. Those bargain prices you're looking at, they would disappear instantly. Once those sell orders are gone, the next available prices aren't a few cents higher. They're multiple dollars higher. Arbitrage traders normally help stabilize things, but if demand hits fast enough, especially with ETF custody involved, even arbitrage can't keep up. This is exactly how you get a full system-wide repricing event. And here's where things get even more interesting. ETF inflows require immediate substantial buys. When new capital enters an ETF, it must be converted into XRP instantly, not gradually. And once those coins move into custody wallets, they're basically locked away for years, completely removed from day-to-day trading. So we get the same result every time. Less XRP available, more demand, faster price movement. Now let's talk OTC. Over-the-counter markets are one of the least visible but most powerful drivers of XRP supply. Institutions, sovereign entities, corporate treasuries, none of them buy from retail exchanges. They go through desks like B2C2, Galaxy Digital, Cumberland, or even Ripple itself. Those desks then source XRP from multiple places, including exchange reserves and other OTC partners. Once these trades settle, the XRP typically gets moved to cold storage. Once it's gone, it's gone. And this brings us to something that might be the accelerant for the entire Shane Ellis theory, RLUSD. Instead of banks buying XRP using fiat pairs like USD, which introduces volatility, RLUSD acts as a stable medium built directly into Ripple's ecosystem. With RLUSD, institutions can execute massive XRP purchases without worrying about price slippage during the transaction. Step 1. A bank loads up $1 billion in RLUSD. Step 2. They use RLUSD to buy XRP on an exchange. If the order book looks like this, 100,000 XRP at 50 cents, 50,000 at $1, 20,000 at $5, their purchase wipes it all out instantly. Step 3, XRP's price jumps. Step 4, they now use XRP to settle cross-border payments. And because RLUSD removes friction and volatility, banks can repeat this endlessly. RLUSD essentially streamlines the liquidity crunch, making the Shane Ellis mechanism faster, cleaner, and more scalable. Now let's talk supply. Ripple controls roughly 43 to 45 billion XRP across escrow and liquid holdings. Add in Chris Larson's 2.3 billion, Arthur Brito's 1.3 billion, and you're looking at almost 44% of total supply locked up among just a few entities. Then add the institutional players. Purpose ETF holds nearly 30 million. 3IQ holds around 45 million. And trust me, the rest of these ETF providers are holding far more than that. Now, years ago when we first started covering XRP, old order book snapshots showed something shocking. On some exchanges, less than $50,000 in buy volume could move XRP from 27 cents to nearly $1.50 instantly. And even crazier, roughly $3.6 million in volume could move XRP to $25. That's how thin these books really are. This is the exact mechanism that once caused XRP to spike to $90 on Kraken, only on one exchange, but a perfect demonstration of what thin liquidity can do. The Shane Ellis theory simply expands that idea across all exchanges at once, triggered not by retail hype, but by institutional demand hitting a limited supply. And here's the big takeaway. RLUSD might be the missing catalyst that turns the theory from possible to practically inevitable. The float is thinning. ETFs are accumulating. OTC desks are draining supply. Large holders are locking up massive amounts of XRP. And RLUSD is making institutional accumulation faster, safer, and frictionless. Everything is lining up, and it's happening in real time. I'm honestly thrilled to keep covering this as it evolves. If any of this feels overwhelming, don't worry. I'm here to help break it down piece by piece. And if this resonated with you, drop your thoughts below, share the video with another XRP holder, and stay tuned, because the next chapter is coming fast.